Shalom, it's Jeremiah call. Before we start off, I want to give praises to the Father and the Son. Barak Yahweh, Barak Shah, Barak Yahweh, Barak Shah, Barak Yahweh, Bahashem, Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Yahweh is who the people ignorantly call God, and Yahweh Shah is who the people ignorantly call Jesus. You so called blacks, so called Hispanics, so called Native Americans are the Hebrew Israelites. So we have an update. A couple days ago, Russia used its hypersonic missile in Ukraine, and though easily those hypersonic missiles, you can put nukes in those hypersonic missiles. So they could have easily, put a nuke inside of that hypersonic missile that they launched. And he say that a hypersonic missile flies at Mach 10, and that's fast. And also, they say that NATO and U.S. missile defense systems can't shoot that missile down. They did this because a couple days ago, also, the U.S., the UK, and France gave Ukraine the green light to use their different medium to long range missiles to shoot inside Russia. And as a result of the US, France, and the UK giving Ukraine the green light to shoot the missiles that they gave them, Russia launched that hypersonic missile. And this is it right here. And these missiles, they can reach any place in the world, man. The missiles can easily get here, all the way over here to the US in less than an hour, and they cannot be shot down because of the speed and the technology that is using for them. And nukes, are going to be shot off, man. And America, will get nuked. It's Bible prophecy. And we're witnessing prophecy play out before our eyes. And we're seeing this third World War III, ramping up right before our very eyes. We're not waiting on World War III to come. We're witnessing World War III play out before our eyes. The difference between World War One, World War Two, and World War Three is that this third world is being broadcast to around the whole world. Normally the people will only see the battles and stuff in World War One and World War Two is if they put it on the news or you read about it in a newspaper or you've seen it with your very eyes. With the technology that we have in this time that we are in right now, you can literally see war missiles dropping all around the world just by going on your phone, man. So this third world is being televised to the whole world. You're seeing it on all these different news platforms, seeing all these videos that's getting posted, all around the world. We have some precepts to get into. This is Jeremiah 50, starting at 22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. Great destruction is coming to America, aka Babylon the Great. And battle, missiles flying, bombs dropping, man. Verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? America is that hammer that rules the earth. All these countries look to America as like a leadership role, like they're in charge. It says, how is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? So, this place is going to get destroyed, man. War is coming to America, aka Babylon the Great, And and the real Babylon is here in, North America, on the east coast of America and in Canada. Verse 25. The Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shah of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. And all these missiles, all this war weaponry technology, these nukes, are part of the Lord's armory. They're gonna get used, because the Lord wants them to get used. The reason these different nations developing all this high level war like technology, developing all these hypersonic missiles, developing all these nukes is to be used, man. And it says in the land of the Chaldeans. That is, the land of the Chaldeans is, Babylon. And again, like we said, Babylon, ancient Babylon, the real ancient Babylon is on the east coast of America and in Canada. But today, with the deception that is being widely spread, they have you to, if you go on Google and look up right now, where is ancient Babylon, they're going to tell you it's in Iraq or somewhere around that. But that's false. The real Babylon is over here. And through the scriptures, you can prove, where Babylon is. And bombs is coming here, man, war. Verse 37. A sword is upon their horses and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her. What country is the most mingled country in the earth that has every nation, every group of people, all these different tongues? It is America. And they shall become as a woman, a sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. And a sword is coming to this place, man. You know, Death, destruction, and the scriptures has been the scriptures is prophesying about it. You have Jeremiah talking about destruction of America, aka Babylon and Greek. You had Daniel prophesying about destruction of America, aka Babylon and Greek. And you have John the Revelator in Revelations prophesying about the destruction of America, aka Babylon the Great. Verse 50, Jeremiah 51 and 1. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. These nukes, these missiles, can cause that destroying wind. You look at when a missile or a bomb is dropped, what happens to everything around it? The wind separates and goes crazy in different directions. From a bomb getting dropped, a building can get blown and tore apart to pieces just from the wind of a bomb getting dropped. Not even from the destruction of the bomb itself, but just from the wind. And these nukes are very very powerful, man. You look at what happened in Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. See how the destruction of that looked. These nukes today are way more powerful because the technology and the weapons are only getting more destructive and more powerful. You look at the hypersonic missile, that the Russian hypersonic missile that we just saw. It says it flies at Mach 10, and it says it can't be shot down with NATO missile defense system. That's how fast and advanced it is, man. And you have Russia preparing bunkers for different, you know, mass producing bunkers, while over here in the US and the UK and Europe, they got their civilians, they got their citizens living in fucking la la land, not even worried about times to come and what's happening. Because, they want you to be asleep, they want you to be in slumber. But it's clear and evident that we are in the end of the world, and America, aka Babylon the Great, is about to get brought to his knees real, real soon, man. Then we have Jeremiah 51 and 13, again proving more. Where is Babylon? It says, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, in the measure of thy covetedness. O thou that dwellest upon many waters. What country is surrounded by waters on various different sides? Okay, you look at the east coast of America, the Atlantic Ocean. You look at where Louisiana is, you have the Gulf of Mexico. You could go to the west coast, you have the Pacific Ocean. This place is surrounded by waters on you know? So you can't get around or run from that. America is Mystery Babylon. And Mystery Babylon is going to be, you know, destroyed. Destruction is going to come to Mystery Babylon, which is America. And also, the real Babylon is here also. Then, we have some more precepts to bring out, and we have some more articles to bring out. This is Ezekiel 38. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Verse 3, and say, thus saith the Lord, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Now he's talking about, Russia. It says, and who is the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, which is Russia? Putin. As the chief prince is basically the president, the ruler, the leader. Who is the leader of Russia? Putin. Verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, of all them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with shields and bucklers, all of them handling swords. And them hooks got put back into Russia's jaws. They was at peace for all these years until Russia Ukraine happened 2022. And Russia got pulled into the war with Ukraine. And ever since the war with Ukraine, more and more stuff has only been happening. The world tensions is getting higher. And this third world has only been growing. Now ever since 2022, Russia, Ukraine, and you also got situation happening in the fake Israel and Gaza. So, it's talking about a great company, many nations with Russia. Verse 5, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Talking about, these different BRICS countries, different Middle East countries, different African countries. It says Gomer and all his bands, the house of Tugamora of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with him. Gomer and all his bands is talking about Turkey. And we know that Turkey is a member of NATO right now, but they won't be in NATO forever. Turkey, when it's all said and done, Turkey is going to be aligned with Russia. To be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Verse 8, after many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years, which is now, thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have always been laid waste, but is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. So I know it's talking about Russia and all these different European and all these different Middle Eastern and African countries aligning themselves with Russia, making war against America, aka Babylon the Great. I'm gonna repeat verse 8 again. After many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years, thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people. Again, what land is gathered out of many people? Has all different kindreds, tongues, and all nations of people here. America, aka Babylon the Great. And is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel. The mountains of Israel is here in the US because the true Israel is here in the US, man. It says, which have always been laid waste, but is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. The people here in America, aka Babylon the Great, they are dwelling safely. They're not worried about the destruction that's coming. They're worried about what I'm gonna do, when I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna buy me a business. I'm gonna live it up here. They're worried about everything else. They're not worried about this destruction that is on the way. They're at peace. They're at calm right now. They could care less about what's happening in Russia, Ukraine. They could care less about everything that's happening in the world. They're fully plugged into this matrix. And if we go down to verse 10, it says, "Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, thou shalt think an evil thought." Verse 11, "And thou shalt say, I will go to the land of the unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates." That's talking about America. You look at, let's say if somebody was confused, they was thinking about that this might be talking about the fake Israel that's in the Middle East. They have bars and gates. They have had bars and gates for a long time. They got these barriers to keep out the so-called Palestinians. They got these barriers to keep out the people from Lebanon. They have their bars and their gates. But which country doesn't have them bars and gates? America, aka Babylon the Great. And they just, recently tried to put up them bars and them gates a couple years ago to cause more confusion. And then we have bars and gates on the southern border. You can go to either coast, east coast. You can go to a beach on the east coast. Do you see some bars and some gates that's keeping the people out from coming to the beach? Basically from the ocean, from the water, gonna come into the beach? No. You can go east coast or west coast. You can literally drive a boat from the ocean to the shore of any beach on the east coast or west coast. The only gates and bars that this place have is at that southern border. So destruction is coming to this place, man. The people are at ease right now, like we just read in verse 11. I will go to them that are at rest. These people in America, aka Babylon the Great, they're at peace, they're at rest, they're not worried about nothing. Say that dwell safely. They feel safe in this place. No, they're at ease. They're at ease. And they don't have a thought or a worry under the sun. They're not worried about a missile coming to coming to get them. They're not worried about troops shooting in their house. They're at peace. They're at ease. And also, the real Euphrates River is actually the Mississippi River. You look at the Mississippi. No, I mean, you look at the Euphrates, which is called the Euphrates, but it's not the real Euphrates. You look at the one that's in the Middle East, and that's the fake one. Well, not the Mississippi River, it's Euphrates. I meant to go to the Mississippi River drying up to show you some pictures. So you see how dry this river is drying up? Like, you see this? Mississippi River is drying up. Now, of course, it's not completely dry, but if you look at how this thing looked 10, 20 years ago compared to now, you can clearly see that it's drying up. Like you can clearly see the bank. All that used to be covered by water. You can tell because of how dark it looks. All that used to be covered by water, man. See, we got some more photos. Like, like you see that the bank is showing. I know I could get this flow. I could get. Tracks are showing. Like, wow, man. It's clear and evident that we are in these last end times, last days in these end times, and that America is Babylon the Great, and
on the dry bed.
Egypt is over here also. The real Egypt is over here also. Look at this is in Memphis, Tennessee. The reason all the pyramids and stuff is gone because they destroyed them, but they builded pyramids over there in Africa. And you look at all the pyramids over here in the North America, South America, Latin America. You all the pyramids over here look way more natural and way more ancient and real. You see overgrowth over them. You know, and over here in North America, South America, the most pyramids in the world is over here. We go to Revelation 16 and 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And that great river Euphrates that we are seeing dry up is the Mississippi River. Is that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. The kings of the east are these various different countries, the people, these different nations that are going to be aligned with Russia that we read back in Ezekiel 38. It says Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Tugomorah of the north quarters and all his bands with him. So all these different African nations, all these different Middle Eastern nations, all Turkey, Russia, you know, all those countries that we just named, and I'm pretty sure a couple more are these kings of the east. And war never really came to the shores of America, but war and destruction is coming to the shores of America, man. All the different prophets prophesied about this in the days of old. You got Revelation 16, which we know Apostle John wasn't, is in Revelations. You go to Daniel, again prophesying about destruction of America, Babylon the Great in the days of old. And you also have Jeremiah. The prophets have been prophesying about destruction of this place, for a long, long time, man. And the prophets are back prophesying about destruction of this place, in these last times. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying through spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All praises unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Until next time, Shalom, Yashala.